Welcome to Perpetual Backlog podcast, your gaming podcast that sometimes will get angry during the weekends. Or one person will get angry during the weekends. I am your host, Aqua, and joining me like always is Dollet.
God, I'm so exhausted after all that goddamn final prep.
And Leek.
I'm also exhausted, but because I did an all-nighter to finish a project. And also, I binge-watched Sweet Tooth. That's really good, by the way.
Alright, what's this project, Leek, since you just so forthcomingly wanted to divulge some information?
It's stuff I always work on. Illustration, it's a book thing.
Okay.
I can't actually talk about it.
Oh, okay.
NDA.
But it's no secret, I work on book stuff, though. Hey, yeah.
Play any games? Any games?
Yes. Guess one. Go on, guess. Guess. At this point, you can guess.
Guilty Gear Strive.
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
Just practice.
Monster. No. 14.
I bought a sub, and I was planning to
Okay.
buy to play it yet last night, but then I went, no, I should finish this work.
Oh.
I haven't bought a sub in forever. I haven't had a sub sandwich in like quite a few weeks.
If I could eat what I bought, I would. Anyway, my brain's breaking. Yeah, so no, I'm going to after this podcast because I just to give because I told myself I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to do this work and then I'm going to play. And then I looked at the clock and then went, yeah, that's not happening. I also played Animal Crossing. Yes, that's actually very relaxing. I'm very, very late to the party on that one, but still.
You're in Japan, you're never late to it.
Yeah, as I recall, it's an all the time type of thing.
Yeah. I'll say with Monster Hunter, honestly. It's one of those
That's true.
games that exists forever.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Monster Hunter Stories 2 demo's out, right? I do want to try that.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cute.
It's pretty good.
It does look
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah.
I managed to play virtually nothing. I've been so busy. I did. Yeah, I know. I did help Leek finish the vanilla story of Rise, so she's now Hunter rank 8. It's grand.
Yeah.
She is temporarily uncapped.
See,
Sweet.
that end boss is much kinder to both my mentality and also I didn't die way far as much as I did with the Monster Hunter World one. Because the Monster Hunter World one is fucking scary looking. It's like this skinned finger thing.
Ew.
It's weird. Reminds me of salad fingers.
Are we talking about Xeno'jiiva?
Yeah, the one at the end of Monster Hunter World.
Okay, I just wanted to be
I really
sure.
like that one.
No, I don't mind the rock version. That's fine, and then it peels off, and then you get salad fingers.
Oh no, you're talking about.
I'm talking about the other
one.
Ishvalda.
Yeah, Ishvalda's
Yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a choice.
It was so creepy. I didn't like it.
It was a choice. I kind of did like the giant rock lion thing that was happening.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is the design. Yeah, I can dig it.
And then that stopped, and it looked directly at the screen at me.
Yeah.
Not my player. I'm sorry, not my player. Not my character. Me, the player.
Yeah. It was.
But yeah, no,
good.
this is this was easier if you're going to compare it to that. That's fair enough.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
Ishvalda-
way better. The other one was like a very bad, no good experience.
Horrible, very bad, no good day.
Ugh.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
So no gaming, Dollet? No gaming?
I mean, I'd love to have put some time into it. I have Integrate, I just haven't had the time to sit down and do with it what I'd like, because finals week I had 4 papers to write and 2 projects and a presentation to give tomorrow. So yeah, been a bit busy, actually.
Well, those of you listening, I have been playing a little bit Integrate. I have Chapter 4 uploaded, and I will be and Chapter 5 will be uploaded sometime soon. I already have it recorded and everything.
Hey, wow, there's way more chapters than I was expecting.
They're I mean, I'm just doing it chapter by chapter, like in the game. So
Mhm.
there's gonna be 8 chapters.
Oh,
It's 18 chapters in the game.
I'm silly. I
So-
thought. Whenever I say integrate, I literally just mean UFI section. Right, you're talking about playing
no, no,
through
no.
the game again in the integrate
I played
model.
the
Right.
See.
And I'll do intermission after.
See.
Sure.
I did hear good things. I did hear Fort Condor is actually really fun.
Oh, that should be.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't believe that for an instant.
Yeah, well, that's the
What?
thing, isn't it? If they did make it fun, because after that reaction, there's a common reaction to people who've played Original 7. Fort Condor is okay. It's like why it's
Well, Condor's fun
bizarre.
once you know the cheese. But
It's it's from, because obviously, like, I listen to other podcasts occasionally.
sure.
The ones that have played it have said it's like auto Dota, not auto chess, but like if you're playing Dota, but it's automatic.
Okay.
Like you don't get the control.
Yes, I know exactly
um,
what you were talking about when you say this.
Or okay, auto League of Legends. How about that?
Yep, definitely know what you're talking about when you say this.
All right, okay, all right. Anyway, it feels a lot better apparently, and then you get to face a bunch of people in the Yuffie DLC. Like you get to go up to NPCs and fight them and like battle them in Fort Condor.
Well, that should be fun.
So, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'll get to that at some point. So, what do you guys want? Do you guys want the what I did gaming this week, or what or my entire story?
Is it?
I mean, the entire story, obviously.
yeah. Because
yeah.
you built it up
Okay.
before we started recording proper.
Yeah.
So, the first bit of my week was, pretty all right. And then Thursday happened, which we're going to talk about later on down the line, which kind of got me a little angry. And then Friday, Friday night, or Friday during the day into the night, I'm streaming Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus is a great game, by the way, guys.
Ah, good to hear.
Yeah.
It's like if Platinum was not Platinum anymore.
What does that even mean?
As in, it's the first good Platinum game to come out since Metal Gear Rising.
Okay. Wait, whoa, hold on. Which came first,
yeah,
Rising or Automata?
Automata came out, but like a Yokotaro is attached to Automata, so it kind of drops down in points.
Ooh, that's all right. Interesting.
And I agree with like a lot of people. And by a lot of people, I don't mean, I guess not a lot of people, because people just like.
Which one is it, Aqua?
I agree with some people that Yokotaro is a self-masturbatory, like, philosopher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
And?
a lot of his writings are bad.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you haven't played the Nier Automata raid 14?
It doesn't matter.
It's
I played Nier Automata.
Well,
I played what it's based on.
That's not. I mean,
And I played Nier.
the story itself is fine. It just doesn't gel with 14. That's all. That's all. But the games itself.
I'll give you that.
The games itself. That should be considered a separate thing. The 14 collaboration.
Anyway.
Yeah. So.
I don't like Yokotaro. So, the last good Platinum game that came out was Metal Gear.
All right. Well.
Okay.
The Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet Nexus is
It's
really
just
good.
reeling you back in.
I think I'm almost. I'm almost done. I'm almost done with Yuito's route, and let me tell you, the story split up a lot. I'm actually confused.
When you say this, what do you mean? Like it's constantly back and forth between the two, or?
As in, very early on in the game. All right, your group and Kasane's group, or Yuito's group and Kasane's group, whatever. They're split off. They're on different sides of a coin.
Okay.
They're actually battling each other.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think some of us mentioned.
Well, yeah, we knew
Yeah.
that.
That was hinted at.
Like we literally knew that. We've seen them fight in several trailers.
But is it very
Okay.
very
So,
much like you are my
it's-
rival?
Yeah, like as in. Well, no, like as in.
No, it looks like
something
she
happens,
wants to kill him.
Whoa.
Something happens politically. And they're on two different sides of the war.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
See, I didn't know the specifics. That's interesting.
There's also time travel involved, which I'm not going to get into that.
Okay.
Timey-wimey things.
Yeah. I'm confused, and I can't wait to get to Kasane's route so I can like get a lot more of the story.
Is it a good confusion? Are you intrigued? Is your interest piqued, or are you by brain spaghetti? I forget.
I'm intrigued and brain spaghetti at the same time.
Yeah,
Okay.
it sounds like we've blown past high concept straight into anime concept. So.
Oh
That should
no,
be
this game
Oh,
is
speaking
anime.
of anime, right?
This game is anime as fuck.
You have to get.
I haven't seen it.
Ah.
I haven't seen it.
Yes. I poked Matt about this
I have
because
to
he
get
did.
codes. Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like
Well, he did watch.
yeah,
the
it feels
first
like you have
episode,
to get the full benefit is to do both, indulge in both media, because he had no idea there was stuff in the anime that could be used in the game just by watching the anime.
I feel like you could watch the anime without playing the game,
Yeah.
but there's some stuff you're probably missing out if you're playing the game and not watching the anime. Because again, you get those codes,
Yeah.
which okay. So by the way, they mentioned Musubi, all right, which is like an internet cafe place.
Sure.
And I didn't realize I could actually go to there. Like you go there in bonding episodes and in between phases, which is their chapters.
Okay.
But I mean, when I look at the world map, I kind of just like I go brain fart, go into like what my next mission is or whatever. I'm like, oh man, I can go to Musubi. I didn't know you can actually go to Musubi, and apparently if you go to Musubi, you can input codes and I'm assuming it just gets you cosmetics.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure at some point in time when the anime ends or whatever, there's gonna be a site that has a list of all of the codes you can put in to get all the cool cosmetics.
Yeah. It's just to clarify for people not knowing who the hell what we're talking about, is that basically Scarlet Nexus also has an anime. I think I do believe it's on their YouTube as well,
Yeah.
so you don't have to go through funny sites to see it.
Yeah.
But
Which is weird.
Oh.
This is weird.
Is
Because
it?
I mean, normally people don't just post anime onto YouTube.
I mean, Final Fantasy did.
with
Yeah, but that was like a 4 episode. This is like a full season anime.
That'll give you. The Brotherhood was like 6 episodes or something.
oh, that's very
Yeah.
generous of
Is
them.
this one like properly a full
yeah,
26?
that's very generous of them then.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 26. But
Good
yeah, if they're just
ass.
uploading them to YouTube, I thought it was just a premiere that they uploaded to YouTube because it aired like weeks before it was supposed. Like technically the first episode supposedly hadn't been aired yet. So I thought this was just a premiere thing that they were doing on YouTube for like, I guess, advertisement for the. But we'll see. Because I don't think the first episode's actually supposed to be out until like July 1st or something like that.
Oh, okay.
No, that game's really good. Like I said, I think the max level is 50, and I'm level 40 at the moment. But I'm not 100% sure on that because I'm assuming you get to fill out the whole brain map, which is like your skill tree, type thing. But I seem to have like a lot of nodes left, and unless they're giving me like an egregious amount of points every time I level up between 40 to 50, I think I might go past 50. I only say it's 50 because you go up against the final boss of the game, like 2 hours into the game, and he's level 50. So, by the way, that was probably one of the most anime scenes ever because, like, you know, it's at the point of the game where like both teams starts to split up, all right, and like some shit's about to happen, and the main bad guy's little brother comes in, and he's like, you know, I'm here to help stop him or whatever. He's the teleporting guy. Then the main boss like comes in and he just he like flash steps next to his fucking brother and goes, and is like, you won't be able to defeat me. He like literally
Nothing
just like
personal,
Omae
kid.
Shinderu's him. Yeah,
Nothing
his little
personality.
brother is like literally the
Ah,
little
yeah.
kid guy. Like I think his name's Luca Travers or whatever, but he's the teleporter. But he's also like super fucking powerful too, like plot line wise. But yeah, that game's really good. I was debating on last night to power through the rest of Yuito's story before this podcast, but and this goes into another thing that I had a problem with over the weekend. All right. So, our friend Felice, all right, he lives in Australia. Okay. Guy can't buy stuff on Square Enix's site because he lives in Australia.
I still don't
Because
understand
Square Enix,
how this is a thing.
because Square Enix
Hopefully
sucks,
that will
sucks
change
so
with
much,
the new
right?
data
So
center opening up.
yeah,
That would
yeah,
be
hopefully.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but so he wants some of the FanFest items, all right. And so I'll go, hey, you send me the money, I'll buy them for you and all that stuff. So he does. He sends me the money, I buy them. They come to my house. They're sitting in my house for a little bit, and then we go shop around for like shipping prices between FedEx, UPS, DHL, and all that crap. And we settle on UPS. And I package the stuff up. I make the label for it. It's going to be $137.38, right? Felice sends me that money so I can pay for the label and all that stuff. I write down the dimensions or whatever, and I write down the weight. Actually, I overdo on the weight because it's 2 shirts and a CD. That thing's not weighing more than 1.5 pounds. All right, so I put 2 pounds for the box. All right, so it's 137. I get my account gets a hold on for that 137.38 or something like that. All right, and the UPS guy picks it up and everything's all like fine and dandy. It goes to the customs place. They call me to make sure I write up an invoice for it so they can send them to the customs, and that goes through and all that crap. And then the day I'm playing Scarlet Nexus, all right, somebody's in my chat, telling me, hey, Sakura Wars is on sale, all right? And I'm like, okay, I am tangentially interested in playing Sakura Wars because it kind of looks, it's a mixture of not visual novel, but like dating sim mixed with, mecha fighting, all right?
This is true.
It looks really nice. And it's on sale for like $26, all right? So I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna check my bank account, all right? Make sure I have, enough money so I can make it to like Thursday or whatever. I look at my bank account. I'm negative $200 and something. All right.
Ooh.
In my bank account, all right? And I'm like, okay, why is this, all right? So apparently, UPS removes the hold that they have on that like 137, all right? And then charges me $263, which I already which I didn't have that much at that time, like that Friday night, and so I'm like negative 150 something, all right?
And at no point did they contact you about this?
No.
Not even like an email or anything?
No.
That's awful. They just...
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what the fuck, Yeah. And then next days, I get my, I'll look at my account right now, all right? See what I'm sitting at. Because I had like other pending transactions going on because, I was thinking I had $150 in my account. I can afford, a $4 to $5 transaction here and there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I have currently my account is negative $350.55.
Yeah.
Well, payday's gonna suck.
Yeah, payday. Well, hopefully I'll be able to get this. So I have $216 in overdraft fee. All right. Because every time something gets charged to my account, I get an extra $40 in overdraft fees. So if a $4 thing happens, I get an extra $40 or whatever. Yeah, I got $6 $36 overdraft fee out of that. So yeah, fuck me. All right, so I call up. This whole entire weekend I can't do shit. All right, because bank's closed weekends. UPS doesn't have their hotline open up on the weekends. It's only Monday through Friday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right. And it was already past the time on Friday when I was looking at it. So I was like, okay, well, guess fuck my life then, all right? So, I scramble and I remove a bunch of the subscriptions that I had. I tried removing my 14 subscription before it went through, but I was too late for that, so my 14 subscription went through. So I was like, okay, you know what, whatever. All right. So Monday, today, I wake up, I call UPS. They charged me $130 more because my package was off by 2 inches.
Squeeze. All right.
Yeah. The dimensions of my package was 2 inches more than what I had wrote down.
Oh no! How dare you? What? 2 inches?
Yeah, I'm like, I told the lady, I was like, oh, and that made the person that was going to pick up my package a lot more harder than for him to fucking pick up my package? 2 inches?
And you weren't using a terribly large box, so it's not as if the 2 inches was a meaningful amount.
It was less than 2 pounds and just 2 inches off.
All
right.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's pretty scummy.
That's some
No.
pretty underhanded shit.
Yeah, I like this lady. She was. This was obviously a call center in another country. I'll just go ahead and say that. I didn't really want to yell at the lady, but I was stern in my talking. She did offer me a refund for the difference, so it'll go back down to the amount that I agreed to pay for.
Yeah,
That's
we're just
good.
not gonna
She was just like, next.
Yeah, at least you can
the
do that,
fact
yeah.
that you're out a bunch of money in overdraft fees. Though.
I called my bank literally
Yeah.
right after, and they told me that when that amount comes, because like she had to go look for the point in time where they held my account for like that 138 or whatever, 137 or whatever. She couldn't find it at first, and then I told her like the specific amount, and she looked at like the days. She's like, okay, so we saw the hold, and then they removed the hold on the 21st, or they removed the hold on the 22nd, and then charged me that amount on the 25th. So she said, like, so there was 2 different ways I could have went about doing this. My bank has like courtesy overdraft like removals or whatever, which I only get 2 of. Either a year or two of 2 years, and it's only up to a certain amount. And I guess that's if I'm like, if I fuck up myself or whatever, and I overdraft my account and I don't want to pay like $60 in overdraft fees or something like that, and I call up and I'm like, hey man, I'm fucked up or whatever. Can I get a courtesy or down? And like, they'll do that. But when I told her that, that they're gonna be refunding me back like at least half of like at least 130 back of from that shit. She said when that comes through into my account, to call the bank back up so they can do a merchant dispute error to remove my overdraft fee.
That's good.
But this whole thing is going to take me like 3 to 5 business days.
I'm genuinely surprised it's just 3 to 5 and not longer, if I'm honest.
Yeah, like the whole getting money back on my, like them doing like the whole refunding me back from UPS. She said 3 to 5 business days.
Okay.
Well,
so yeah, there's that. So that was not nice. I had to walk to work today, 81 degrees plus like 80% plus humidity. Which is like 2 miles. So I walked to and from work today. So it's a 4-mile walk. Which means I got my exercise.
Oh yeah.
But holy shit, was I sweaty as fuck. So that's nice. And whatever I did to piss off the manga side of Twitter today.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
Fuck that community, by the way. Like, fuck them hard.
Huh? What happened?
So, I was scrolling down my Twitter, alright? And for some reason, Twitter decides to, I guess, do some sort of advertisement for this one person's like a Twitter, right? Where all they did was post a manga screen of My Hero Academia, all right?
Okay.
But this was of a screen of My Hero Academia that came out in of a chapter that came out in November, all right? Which the anime is nowhere near that. Nor have I even finished where the current anime is at, all right? And it's of a pretty big spoiler, all right? And what I'm assuming is that, I guess I'm assuming this person, like, I guess paid like whatever cents or whatever to have Twitter like fucking advertise their page or whatever, shit, because it didn't say nobody liked, it didn't say nobody like retweeted or whatever. It was just fucking on my timeline for some reason.
No, it might have been a case of you might also like, which is like just the algorithm trying to show off people.
Oh, it's just algorithm.
Oh, it's
yeah.
always the algorithm.
Shaky fist.
Either way, I have baked into my Twitter some hashtags that I do not want seen. All right, and one of them is My Hero Academia spoiler. All right.
Oh,
Which
you blocked those hashtags.
Oh yeah, I blocked those. All right.
Yeah.
Which all I ask for is, if people are like, posting shit that could possibly be spoilers, just fucking tag your goddamn tweet, all right? I won't see it, all right? But no, I commented and I was like, spoilers, all right? And then somebody else commented on this person's like fucking tweet and goes, yeah, for anime only. And I'm like,
oh, I see.
so does that make me less of a person because I only watch the anime? And they're like, that's not what... I was like, that's not what I said. And I'm like, no, that's specifically what you said. You said for anime only. Anyway, this is a whole long Twitter argument. And like,
oh, no.
I could see myself getting ratioed the fuck out of because like 12 billion people started like fucking liking this person's like post against me. All right. And I was like, well, one person liked one of my posts. All right. And I was like, and I'm sitting here like, this community's fucking shit. Because somebody else came in and was like, well, this hashtag spoiler tag is for leaks. And I'm like, no, it's for fucking spoilers.
Flutter eyelashes?
Yeah.
I got a whole hashtag for me.
It's all for you.
It's all for you, Damien. It's all for you.
My god. Oh yeah, that sucks. Be considerate, please.
Nah, fuck it. Aqua, lean into it. Become the villain.
No, somebody said it was my fault.
That's so.
It
okay.
was your...
I know what they meant to say by that. At least I assume so. But it doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, I mean, in the context of it's like, anime versus manga, the timeline is different to what you're able to see, and then there was no hashtag to block. It's not really
apparently the whole manga side of Twitter agrees to this one statement that if it's out, if the chapter is released, it's not spoilers anymore. Literally, that's the thing. That's the thing this guy said. This guy said, spoilers equals leaks. Spoilers does not equal chapter released.
Okay.
And I'm like, what's with all this gatekeeping? And they're like, it's not gatekeeping.
I'm
and
so
I'm like,
happy I'm not a weeb.
I was like, it's not gatekeeping. It's just that, if you're anime only, the only way you're gonna be able to be spoiler free is if you go onto Reddit or whatever. Just stay off Twitter. And I'm like, you motherfucker, that is literally the definition of gatekeeping. Just because I don't fucking read the manga, I have to stay off Twitter so I can not be spoiled. I'm like, you could just hashtag MHA spoilers. That's it. That's all you have to do.
I mean,
anyway,
I'm just pleased that I only like old as hell anime or anime that lasts a season, because this is just nothing I ever have to worry about, and then I can move on.
No, it's just reminded me of the Pro ZD. They did like anime dub versus sub in one of his
Yes.
It just reminds me of that.
Oh, then they did the actual
the anime cop or something like that, manga cop thing. Is that little mini series?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yes.
It just reminds me of that.
And I'm just like, the only thing I got out of this whole interaction was, holy shit, Twitter manga community is toxic as fuck.
Well,
yeah. Fuck them.
I mean,
probably the vocal minority side.
I'm not even gonna say
I may have just gotten an interaction with some fuck off with their fuck off fan.
Yeah. That's usually the case. The loudest assholes is the one you bump into more often than not.
In general, fandoms are just toxic by nature.
Yeah.
I follow tags.
Even super
like
wholesome things as well. Like Steven Universe fandom, fucking hell, what the fuck?
I say away from cartoon fandom.
They literally drove production people off the
Aqua,
series.
I don't care what you're about to say next. You are absolutely wrong.
What do you mean?
Western animation fandom is no worse than anime. Matter of fact, it might actually be better.
But I also stay away from the anime fandom too. As you see, I only talk to you guys about anime mostly, and I'm just trying to get you guys to watch anime.
Not gonna happen.
I don't go to like some subsection of fucking Twitter and like anime or Reddit. I don't even fucking touch Reddit. So I stay away from all fandoms. I was just scrolling down Twitter and I was like, oh, hey, look, there's a screen of like, you know, a manga chapter, and it literally in bold prints or whatever, I am blah 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 blah, and I'm like, fucking really? And this is something the anime is not gonna hit on for like probably another 2 seasons.
Be careful not to do the spoiler thing that you did too much.
Oh my god, protagonist Kun is really antagonist Kun, and they're dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I assume it's something like that.
Yeah, essentially, please be considerate. I know you're very excited about the thing, but not everybody has the same access as you. You know, there is Twitter etiquette, you know, it's simple, just hashtag.
If you're gonna post something that could be a spoiler, even though your fucked up fandom thinks that once the chapter is released, it's not a spoiler anymore, maybe be considerate and put a hashtag this spoiler. Because some people, like, I know people that won't even fucking spoil Kingdom Hearts 1. And that game's been out for how long?
So
20 years?
So
Yeah.
long.
I mean, I do recall some of us here saying, hey, this so-and-so game has been out for so long, fuck you.
Me.
If you're complaining about spoilers.
Me.
So, also take that in consideration in the future. How did that make you feel, Aqua?
It does.
It's very interaction.
It is a strange thing, though, because just the way that they phrased it, now that I've thought about it, is weird. The moment it comes out, spoilers are out the window.
Yes.
Because I'm just thinking, I can't imagine going to a movie, seeing the movie at the midnight premiere or like the early afternoon time of the next day, and just deciding to walk to the end of the crowd and go, yeah, Snape kills Dumbledore. Can you imagine it? I mean, it's not spoilers anymore. Movie came out.
It's your fault for not being in this premiere.
Yeah,
Fuck you guys.
Where were you at midnight?
Here's the thing. I believe, like, for Kingdom Hearts 1, I don't fucking care, alright? It's been out for 20 years.
Yeah.
If you haven't played it now, you're probably not going to play it at all, alright? This manga chapter came out in November.
Yeah.
Like, it's a difference. It hasn't even been a year. There's a difference, alright? I won't spoil stuff that's like been out for like a couple of years. But, you know, obviously, like Dollet just said, Snape killed Dumbledore. How long has it been since fucking Book 7 came out?
Is that the book that it happened in? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. It's my go-to example.
Or movie 7, whichever one. Even people that read the books didn't spoil the fucking movies.
Oh yeah, hey, that's a much better comparison. Yeah. There you go.
And then books came out way before the movies.
Yeah, because I read the book when I was in elementary. Yeah.
Moral of the story, Scarlet Nexus is a really good game. And I implore people to play this game. It's really good. Plays phenomenally well on PS5. I've heard some people complain about maybe there's some like jankiness with consoles, but I think that might be later or like last gen consoles. So if you have a PC, probably get it for PC if you have a last gen console only.
Segue for PC stuff. Windows 11, it is on its way.
And apparently it's already running into issues. Which, I mean, to be fair, everything out there is an unofficial test version, so I guess that's fair. But
the curious thing for me is that it's a free upgrade for Windows 10. That's good, but there is a minimal requirement that you must meet with hardware and stuff.
That's no great surprise, to be honest. So
the only good thing and I'm gonna quotations this good thing I heard about Windows 10 is that, or Windows 11 is that there's gonna be a built-in Android emulator in it. So playing your mobile games, your Android mobile games might be are gonna be a lot easier on PC. You apparently won't need blue stacks
Hey,
anymore.
I can get rid of Nox and just use that for.
Hey, that's interesting.
Yeah, you just look there will be its own Android store built into Windows 11.
No great surprise about that.
Yeah, so you'll be able to just play your mobile games on PC.
It's not bad.
Which I mean, that's where most people play their mobile games anyway. To be fair.
Well, I mean, I see what you're getting at. Yeah, no, it's definitely quality of life. It's gonna be a good thought, if nothing else.
Yeah. Oh, I played 14. I am close to finishing my Paladin relic.
Hey.
And then Dark Knight and White Mage will be like literally right behind it because I've been working on the step that I'm on. I can do Delubrum Regenerate a bunch of times and get like items for my Paladin relic and get items for my White Mage and Dark Knight relic at the same time.
Oh, that's cool.
So, I just need to do 5 more Delubrum so I can get the items for my White Mage, and then I'll have all the items that I need for my Paladin after that. Which means I'll just my Paladin relic will be done and finished, and then I can just move up to doing Dark Knight and White Mage. So that'll be quick. And I think that's all I played. I mean, I Scarlet Nexus is really good.
It's great to hear because I was thinking it was all right, but kind of in the vein of all the other Bandai Namco games. Well, RPGs. So
there's a well, it's a lot better than Code Vein, I can tell you that. There's a node on the brain map, which is like your skill tree again, where you get where you can activate 4 of your SAS brain abilities at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, there's like in the demo where you're able to like use your teammates' abilities or whatever.
Yeah.
So all of them.
You can have all 4 of them active.
Ah, okay.
I expected a full burst mechanic, so this is in keeping with what I was expecting as a like late game ability.
They have this thing called Brain Drive, which turns the map into like this fucking neon looking thing, and it's pretty much wacko mode, because in the middle of that, your character kind of goes crazy, and in that mode you're just like fucking slinging around like terrain at the enemy, just like fucking smacking. Like it's like power. It's like super power mode. That's pretty cool. Actually, that's not Brain Drive. Brain Drive is just like your regular power up move that you get randomly. Brain Field is the super wacko sicko mode, which if you're in that for too long, it kills you and game over.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's a type of like, if you need it real quickly mechanic, where you get into it, you can be in it for like 30 seconds, like doing a shit ton of damage,
Okay.
and then you take yourself out of it so your character doesn't die.
I suppose that's the way to balance it.
Yeah.
And narratively speaking, you overload your brain. That's no good.
They have a very unique way of censoring the game.
Oh?
Without actually censoring the game.
How do you mean?
In the game, like so all the characters are like, you know, the whole theme of the game is brain. Is your brain technology abilities and all that crap, all right?
Sure.
Everybody's connected, pretty much. Like everybody in the OSF is kind of like connected to like a main thing in the city or like in the government or whatever. And
Nexus.
there's this, Nexus, yeah. And there's this one instance where, in the beginning of the game, they're carting a dead body. All right, the things you fight in this game.
Carting or carving?
Carting, as in like it's on a gurney.
Okay.
In this game, you fight against these things called others, and others feed off human brain. All right.
Yum.
So this dead body doesn't have a head. All right.
Ew.
But when your character is looking at it, there's a big old sensor over where like, you know, to cover that it's decapitated, like the person's decapitated or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not like censored in the bit like, you know, where you're like playing Devil May Cry 5 and fucking lady's ass is censored due to a fucking light razor, right? It's like built into the lore of the game that the government is censoring this out so it doesn't cause trauma to the OSF members.
Oh, I see.
Interesting, given what they had to go through to awaken.
An actual mental block.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So it's pretty nice. Yeah, this game. I'm curious to see how the like Yuito's story ends because it's I'm at a point in the game where it's just kind of like what the fuck's going on here, guys?
You know, I'm kind of interested in something as well. Going off what you've said, and because I've been watching a lot of Tales of Arise stuff, I've seen a lot of people recommend Scarlet Nexus. But I will be interested to see the sales numbers to see if that's reflected in a wider audience. Because I imagine the answer is going to be no.
The only like sales I've seen when it comes to Scarlet Nexus, or the only thing like reception wise that I've seen from Scarlet Nexus, is that it made an 80 on Metacritic, which is apparently 10 higher than the Super Mario Golf game that came out.
Oh no, I want that to be.
Oh, they're not really comparable games though. Let's just say.
This is true.
No, but you would assume a Super Mario Golf game would have gotten a lot higher.
Well, I suppose. Okay, whatever. But yeah, all right. It's a high score regardless.
Yeah. Well, it's an above average score for a Bandai Namco.
Namco.
What is? Let's just say, what is it? If you look up, like, for example, Code Vein, that's another thing you can compare it to, I suppose. What was the, like, in comparison? What was the score?
Oh, yeah, what was Code?
Yeah. I think that's a better comparison.
A 70.
There you go. Okay. Interesting.
Anyway, yeah. Got an 80. It looks pretty well. From what I've seen, 54% of people that own a PS5, or not 54% of people that own a PS5, but 54% of copies sold were on PS5, 21 on PS4, and 20 on Xbox console.
Okay.
Which is funny.
Is it?
Considering this game was marketed as an Xbox game.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That is true, like Tokyo Game Show and stuff, right? That's where it first.
Yeah, everywhere this game has shown up, it's been an Xbox. It's been a Microsoft showcase game. It's always been marketed as.
So here's the thing
Xbox.
about that. Before we just rag on Xbox, as fun as that is, I do enjoy it. This is not a game that's ever going to do well on Xbox because of the type of people that buy Xbox.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Like this is.
Although, saying
Sony's
that
out.
though, because I bring up Tokyo Game Show again, I think the reason why they use Code Vein, not Code Vein, but Scarlet Nexus on that showcase is because they wanted to appeal to the Japanese audience.
Yes.
There was a big love letter to Japan
Yeah.
during Tokyo Game Show.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
But that 20% is across all Xbox consoles, which if I recall correctly, is also including PC.
Have they actually made that distinction yet? We know that Microsoft in-house makes that distinction, or rather doesn't make a distinction, but now we're dealing with non-Microsoft accounting, so it might be a while before others catch wise and just stop keeping those separate. And it might come to be that because of the difference between console and PC, that just because Microsoft doesn't separate them doesn't mean other accounting doesn't keep them separate for various reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is absolutely something I expect to do well on PlayStation and PC and then Xbox.
Yeah. Well, it's really good. I definitely recommend if you have, like I said, if you have a PS5, get it. If you don't, get it on PC. Because I'm not sure how the PS4 versions work. I mean, and if you have a Xbox, get it on Xbox. Because I generally know Xbox games work well on the Xbox, so get Scarlet Nexus. Get good. But
we're obligated to say we're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored by
like
Bandai Namco. As much as I've tried to look into getting like an affiliate program with Bandai, I never got any answers. They have like an EU. They have an EU affiliate program, but I didn't see anything about an NNA one.
Yeah, they probably have a minimal requirement for like viewers on your stream and shit like that. So, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I mean, this is they have one. Like I said, I couldn't even find a place to like sign up. I found one for EU.
It just means having to talk to the right person and get redirected. So
yeah.
Maybe
they just like poach people. Or
could well be. Yeah, they
True.
headhunt.
Yeah.
Headhunt, that's it.
So, shall we get to the meat and potatoes of the matter?
The meat and potatoes of the matter, actually, we have these actually aren't questions or whatever, which I'm gonna have to talk to Ramza in a little about this. Right?
Okay.
Ramza comes in with the topic of the week, which I'll save for last. Little says, now that Falcom and Nisa have cured my E3 blues, I can get back to asking questions. This week, my question is it fall 2022 yet? Side note, it's good to see the entire podcast knows who's the best Dragon Ball character is.
Damn right.
For those that don't know, also, the night that Scarlet Nexus came out, I also sat on stream and watched the Nihon Falcom type of fan fest they had that night.
Oh yeah.
Which included having Falcom JDK band come up on stage and play a bunch of songs from the Trails in East titles. But in the middle of that, they announced, and this was also leaked earlier that day from Epic Game Store. They are localizing in partnership with Nisa, because like obviously they Nisa is like pretty much their go-to now. Trails from Zero, the one cross-spell game that we didn't get, that's getting localized. Trails to Azure, the other crosswell game we didn't get. Nayuta Boundless Trails, which is a Trails game that isn't a Trails game.
Or is it?
Or is it? We don't know yet. But since it got a PS4 port in Japan, they're doing that as well. And they're porting and they're localizing Hajimari no Kiseki, which is actually now being called Trails into Reverie. Those are coming out, like, see, Zero's coming out in 2022, fall 2022, and the rest of them are coming out in 2023.
Yeah, lots of work. Holy crap.
Yeah, lots of work. This actually wasn't the coolest of the news that came out from that. The coolest of the news is that the Geofront team that did the Fran translation for Zero and Azure are actually working with Nisa to get these ports out onto the other consoles and PC.
Hey, what a great goddamn choice.
I literally said last week that Geofront fucking carries the shit out of this goddamn fandom. And goddamn it, they did.
Huzzah. Yeah, that's good.
Now they get to do it for profit.
So, what they were talking, what I think either Scott, or Scott Kills Scott, whatever, I think that's what his name is on Twitter. What he said was, there's barely any new lines in the because what they're doing is they're porting over the PS4 versions of the game, which have new lines or whatever, but there's only like 167 lines across both games, so it's not much translation. What it is going to be just a lot of the coding for the PS4 versions, the new PC versions, and the Switch versions that they're going to be working on, which is actually why it's going to take such a long time to get them out, because these people that are working at Geofront, they have lives. Like, Supreme Zerker is going through law school right now while he's like running this fan translation company. A lot of them have lives, so they're not going to be working all day every day on trying to get Trails, trying to get these two Trails games out.
All right.
The other question I weirdly had was, why was it going to take to get Hajimari out so long? because it's not coming out until 2023 as well, and this game's been out for almost a year already in Japan. And since they're not having Geofront work on them, from what I'm understanding, so they're just like neglecting to work on that Trails game until they get the Crossbell games out. Weird.
I mean, given everyone that's in it, it doesn't strike me as a bad idea.
Well, see, the problem is they've already had their Avengers Endgame come out in America. CS4 is literally their Avengers Endgame.
Is it?
I mean, yeah.
And like, okay, so and honestly, while I ask this question, I'm going to answer my question. And the reason why is because Falcom probably sees Hajimari as more of a Crossbell 3 game than it does a Cold Steel 5 game.
Does it? I see it as pretty, because I know about a couple
Well, the
of
problem is
twisty turns.
it feels more of a Cold Steel 4 game. I mean, it feels more of a Crossbell 3 game, because Lloyd pretty much is the main character of Hajimari. Kinda.
Mhm.
It's weird. It's weird when you throw in all three. Well, actually, fucking Estelle and Joshua, they're in it, but you don't play as them. From what I've gathered, they're, or at least they're not part of the main storyline. Yeah, no. I mean, while Reen does have his like fucking like while the final boss is a Schmelga. From what I gathered, I actually haven't done it yet. I think it's a Schmelga. Lloyd still technically feels like the main character of this game, because I think there's just more content with the Crossbell side of it. Not to mention the game takes place primarily in Crossbell.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. The unfortunate fact about Geofront's translation being the one that they're using for this, they had to take down their translations for both Zero and Azure. And so now everybody has to wait until 2022 and 2023 to play Zero and Azure. Let me rephrase that. Everybody that isn't officially streaming for a page or doesn't have it already downloaded. People that already have like the translation downloaded, they can still fucking go and play it or whatever, but they had to remove it from their site.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because literally it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they're going to have it's going to be the same thing as you're playing like you're literally just playing their version. It's actually official. And oh man, the day that happened, they were all of them were on Twitter. Like, remember that time where everybody was saying, "Oh, now you guys ruined the chance of actually having an official translation come out over here," and they're like, "Fuck you, bitches! We're the reason an official translation's actually coming."
Okay.
Because literally, like, I mean, Falcom and Nisa weren't gonna really be able to do it. Like Falcom wasn't gonna pay Nisa to actually do it.
Don't know why, but yeah, you're definitely right about that.
So I learned this about Falcom actually. The reason why their games and their localizations have so low budget, they put a lot of their money into getting voice actors. The voice actors, like the Japanese voice actors that play in the Japanese side of Trails,
mm-hmm.
they're all extremely famous. So they spend a lot of their budget in their games just on the voice actors. That's why when you see on the Japanese side, Reen Schwarger's name come up, and then down below his name you see the voice actor's name, because it'll say CV or whatever, and like the name under Reen Schwarzer.
Yeah.
That's because Falcom's paying a lot of money for these voice actors. Like, there may not be like super high budget voice actors in the NA side, because like, I mean, you have Sean Chiplock, who's like fairly well known. Christina V's in it like a couple of times.
Was he before CS1? I don't think he was.
I think it's difficult because he voices Revali, and Revali's a pretty popular character in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead because I don't know if you just haven't played it or anything. It doesn't say that much.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of dialogue in that game to begin with.
And while that may be the thing, a lot of people attach themselves to like the voice actor and Revali. Like, I mean, like when people played like Trails in the Sky or whatever, they had to get like they almost pretty much had to get Stephanie Shea and Johnny Young Bosch back to get to play Joshua and Estelle. They couldn't get Troy Baker to play Oliver, like Olivier, because, well, I mean, Troy Baker doesn't do anime. So people attach themselves to, like, even if it's just battle voice. They're like, oh, hey, look, Sean Chiplock did the battle voice for Rivali and, like, some of the voices. And then, like, I mean, fucking Sean Chiplock's numbers went up as soon as Breath of the Wild came out.
Sure.
And then he played, what is it, Mishima in Persona 5?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Rain. I mean, he's had some pretty.
Oh yeah, I think he's super established.
Pretty big roles over the past 10 years.
I think he's super established now.
Yeah. Anyway.
You mentioned Ramza.
Well, Ramza like pushes us into the main topic.
Okay.
Like I think the biggest the biggest voice I've heard in NA Trails is Mercer or DC Douglas. Maybe in the most recent ones with Erica Lindbeck. But that's literally how much stock is put in like NA side Trails. Like you have high budget voice actors in Japanese side, and that's literally where all of its budget goes.
Well, it's a Japanese game, can't fault them for splurging on themselves.
Yeah. And that's why when it gets localized, there's not much budget. Oh, and actually that's the main reason why, you know how Reen doesn't really have that many voice lines? Like there's a lot of points in like the Trails games where Reen just doesn't speak, and in times where you think Reen should have a voice line.
Yeah, because of how voice actors are paid.
Yeah, that's just so for the NA side, it's because the JP side didn't have those voice lines, all right? But for the JP side, it's because that's how much budget they had. They didn't have enough budget to give like whoever Reen's fucking voice actor was to like speak every line in the game. But yeah, I'm excited. I've already played Zero in Azure. I've played a little bit of Nayuta, I've played that unofficially, and as I said, I'm already at the end of Hajimari, but since there's a translated version coming out, fuck yeah. Alright, so Ramza doesn't really have a question. What Ramza says, the Final Fantasy XIV Twitch collab list. What the hell?
I mean, I guess it's a question.
Straight to the point.
I mean, it is a question. It is.
It's a statement.
It is formed in a question. Yeah, it's formed in a question.
Okay.
There's a question mark.
So now that question has been asked, I'm gonna have you to do me a favor, because I've been busy, and I saw outrage, but I didn't dig around to figure out why outrage.
Yeah.
What is happening in the 14
I'm gonna
community?
go very slowly here. All
may
right?
I first just read out the thing?
Oh, yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
Final Fantasy 14 and Twitch did a collab thing that there is an event that's going on right now. It says on the Lodestone, we are pleased to announce a new campaign in collaboration with Twitch where players will be able to get their hands on some cool rewards by making use of the gift subscription service on selected channels. From blah 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 event from now to 24th of August, support your favorite content creators from this list apparently, and you can receive deluxe heaven crackers and the fat chocobo mount. And then it goes on to basically say what's eligible, how you do it, Twitch account, etc, etc, and then has a list for English speaking Twitch streamers, French, German, Spanish, and Finnish.
I immediately see how this could go poorly.
Yeah.
All right, so Dollet.
Yeah.
It's very important. It's not just the fat chocobo,
Mm-hmm.
all right? Because everybody has the fat chocobo mount, all right? Or almost everybody does. It's the fat black chocobo.
Yeah.
All right. There's not a single black person on this list.
Well, it's not just black, of course. It's
It's-
person of color,
Yeah.
indigenous, and so on, right?
Not a single black, indigenous, or person of color on this list.
There is one of Asian descent. I looked through the list. The rest
And
are
that's in
is
Germany,
this
right?
Yeah.
The entire
Yeah.
list. There is a single
Entire
person of
list.
color.
Yes, I went through the entire
Oh
list.
no. Okay. See, what I thought of when I heard this as a problem is, okay, well, the rich just get richer, and a lot of our friends are probably.
Oh no,
on
that's
the
part of the
list.
problem.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of our friends are on the list. I don't say this to deride them, but this is clearly a case of, if you do this, you are actively punishing people for supporting. Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get. Newer or smaller communities. What I hadn't considered is that they would be so blind and make such an easy to miss mistake. Like, this is
Okay,
the
so
simplest thing to like.
I will
not
say, to be
have
transparent,
happen.
I will say, to be
I-
transparent, it
yeah.
is LGBTQTA plus, a month basically, and there is, in that sense, a few people from,
There's like two or three.
in the English list, yeah. But
Yeah.
there's a few, and then also I will also say, there is representation for people who, are disabled and support like accessibility in games and that kind of thing, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Although that's not really highlighted, but there is.
So Dollet,
So me.
when I say like black, indigenous, person of color, Final Fantasy 14 streamer, who's the first person that you think of?
It is Sly.
Yeah. Our boy Blue's not on that list.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He hosts the NA
He's
14 podcasts. He is one of the
he's a
3
co-host of
major
Mr.
hosts.
I know.
Actually, you know what? You know what's even funnier? Sly's been on more episodes of State of the Realm than Happy's
really?
been on. Yeah. Sly's had to host State of the Realm himself because Happy couldn't like stream it. So he's actually been on more episodes.
Now, what I found curious
How
as
was
well,
that
like, there's a lot of
oversight, mate?
people in the Ethernet like community, basically, and there's a website that lists everybody in the streamers that are within that group, and it's not just white folks, by the way. They could have gone to the website and seen for themselves who else is there, not just the big names, right?
Yeah, not just so. The worst part of this premise is that the premise of this whole Twitch collaboration, all right, is to foster community, foster the 14 community, all right. But these are some of the names that they and these aren't like, I'm not like
Please don't witch hunt.
being like angry, not like witch hunting or like saying, all right. So one of the names on the list, all right, is one of our good friends, Ethis Asher.
Sure.
All right. That boy hasn't streamed in 2 months.
Yeah,
That boy's not going to be streaming for at least another month.
that's very fair.
Right.
He is incredibly busy moving countries right now.
Well, he's already moved in another. He's working solely on his new job at the moment. But it's also like triggering his chronic fatigue. So
Sure.
he's
Yes.
either working or sleeping.
Yeah, and also I would like to add, we are not blaming the streamers on the list.
no,
It's not their
yeah,
fault, obviously. So do not direct your, anger or complaints at them.
It's
It's not
I had to argue with Mithri the day it happened because he was trying to be like, all of these 14 streamers that are taking advantage of this fucking like thing or whatever, it's really suspicious. And I'm like, do you really need to tweet this, Mithri? Like, really? like if you were on that list, you would not say a goddamn thing.
it just
So.
strikes me that there's a simple way around all of this while still fostering a sense of community, and that's if you sub to any streamer streaming under the
In the
14
directory.
tag, then this is what you get, and stay a while and listen. What? This is such a simple fix. What?
So
How did this happen?
I was curious, yeah.
My assumption. Okay, so the other names on this list is JP, which, by the way, he didn't even stream for the first couple of hours that he did it. He specifically, purposely did not stream for the first couple of hours because he did not want a bunch of he didn't want what happened to Happy, because
Sure.
Happy hit 16,000 subs that day.
Goodness. Oh,
All right,
my.
he does not consider himself as a 14 streamer. He considers himself a variety streamer
Yeah.
that occasionally streams 14.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Annie Fuchsia, who's only streamed the game 6 times, was put on it, and she's primarily a WoW streamer.
Yeah, it's curious.
Okay.
I'm
Was
really
put on it?
curious how they decided on these names. Like, I love
I'm not.
a lot
Oh,
of
it's
people
definitely-
on this
it's
list.
definitely
I
just
do.
for
I've
14
known
advertisement.
Some people for a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. This is almost certainly your account, right?
Yeah, no, so they obviously they haven't came out and stated like how their picking process was, but this is in my head canon, all right? My head canon, this is what happened, all right? Square is like, well, we could do this 14, we can like, either sell the 14 chocobo on or like the fat black chocobo on the Mog Station, or we can do something with Twitch, and do that. And they're like, okay, yeah, so they talk to Twitch. Twitch is like, oh yeah, we'll get a bunch of streamers. We can do these gift sub things, so like, and it'll like pump up numbers in the 14 directory and all that stuff or whatever. And Square's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. And that's all Square did. And everything was left on Twitch's side, where Twitch was like, okay, so Annie Fuchsia streamed the game 6 times. If we tell her that she's going to be in this event, she can jump into the 14 directory and get a bunch of fucking subs. JP does a lot of stuff with 14. Obviously, we got to have Mr. Happy, because if Mr. Happy's not on this list, then everybody's going to get real suspicious. Ethis Asher does a lot of lore stuff, right? Yeah, totally. We gotta have Spoofy. We gotta have, we gotta have all these people that are known in the 14 that are like either somewhat known or known in the 14 community, with a couple of sprinkled people to drive up numbers. All right. Yeah, my assumption is that Twitch was like, okay, we got to get some of the biggest streamers that we can and drive up their numbers, because it's going to drive up our numbers and we're going to get paid. I mean, because like obviously, like depending on what Happy's cut is for his subs, right? At the very least, he gets $2.49 for each sub. All right, he got 16,000 plus subs that day. All right, so if he gets $2.49 each sub, that's like $37,000. All right, that's $37,000. It's also going to Twitch. So.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Obviously, they picked some, either they purposely chose some top of the line number streamers that will stream 14, just so they can drive up.
So this isn't just outrage. I mean, there's lots of like concern that companies only really care about a certain demographic if their flavor of the month. Last month before was like Black History Month, right? And this month, it's
February is Black History Month.
But like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And like, this doesn't help to show sincerity. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
So that's one concern. Another concern is, you say Twitches and 14 are saying, oh yes, we care about the community. We want the community to grow. We want to foster relations between community members. But if you're only directing attention to certain people in the community, then everyone else is left out.
Yeah, at this point you're just playing favorites.
Yes. That's another concern.
Yeah, because like nobody's enticed to drop gift subs on, like, say somebody who's got like 30 views on their 14 account, because they're not going to get a fat black chocobo from it, whatever. No, go to Happy, go to Spoofy for this, all right? Because they're obviously the centers of the community. No, like it's not. Like, yeah, Happy, Sly, and all them, they're big names in the community, all right? But like giving them more money over giving people that, like, because I know there are people that stream 14 every single day and you get like a maximum of like 10 viewers.
Apologies, I got mixed up with Juneteenth, because that's last month. But anyway, sorry.
That is true.
Yeah, but you see my point though, right? This kind of thing.
Yeah. It's incredibly skewed, because like, again, and again, like, it's nothing on the streamers that were picked. They're just getting paid. And I know Happy and a lot of the other 14 community members that are like 14 streamers that are on that list, they're doing all they can to push all of that onto the people that aren't on the list. Because I know Happy's been making it apparent to host and like encourage people to gift subs on people that like was it like Angela? I forget what it's like, Angelus or whatever. The people that aren't on the list or whatever, he's been making it apparent to host them, to make sure people are like showing them, like obviously going to Sly, because Sly and Happy are like best fucking friends. Whatever, they've been a part of this podcast for the past 8 years.
Yeah, it was very bizarre choices.
And
really,
yeah, I know when Happy read the list or whatever, he was like, why isn't Sly's name on this list? He was like very concerned about it. So I mean, it's nothing on them. They're part of this list. And I think Happy and Spoofy stated that they've known about this event for like at least a week or two. But they were not told, like nobody was told who was on the list. So they had no idea.
No, because as a streamer for this, you just get an invitation.
Yeah. See, another concern as well related to this is algorithm bias. We all know this very well, but it does affect who is shown as well. And this is something that also crosses over to facial recognition, AI, and AI recognizing certain like hashtags and shit like that. There is a written-in bias, even like malicious or not. This happens. And this highlights another reason why people should really fucking pay attention to this sort of thing. We're not just blowing hot air. This is a thing that happens over and over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's ridiculous. There was I've been making it apparent to try and tweet every day. It is day 5. And there still has not been any changes made to this list.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, this is just...
Nor have they mentioned anything?
Therein lies my issue. I don't know. I'm inclined to treat the 14 side of things every bit as bad as Twitch. Twitch, I'm just going to assume is being dumb and taking the easy way out. But 14 has to have gotten a list of people who would be representing them. So whoever was on the department for that, heading up the decision making, would have known. And it just strikes me as, I hate to use this expression, but the rich get richer. But even if they were playing favorites, there are certain omissions. Like, I would expect this to, if it was just like, we're going with the people we know and trust, to be the same people you see turning up to the fan fest, essentially.
Yeah.
But even that's not happening. Alex isn't there, Sly isn't there. I didn't hear you all say anything about Drac. I assume Hoopo's not there.
Drac is on the list. Drac is on the list.
Yeah.
Drac is on the list, yeah. Bayaka wasn't on the list either, and she's a very well-known 14 streamer as well. And like, this is how I thought about it, right? If obviously Square's not out of like, you know, they're just as much to blame as Twitch, most likely, because Square should have had more of a choice in who was picked or whatever. And if they did and they chose the people that they chose, then boo on them, because they should have fucking known.
That's still
right?
only half the issue that I was making, though. The other half is that it's the simplest thing in the world to fix this.
It is,
I mean, maybe
and
it's
they
not
haven't.
super simple in terms of things are in motion and it gets a bit iffy, but like, even just saying we're extending the event and we're opening it up to anyone streaming in the 14 directory, because we do want to have a focus on community, not individual. Which, I mean, no matter how you take it now, you've chosen people on a list. You've made this about the individual. You've not made this about community. And it's hard to get away from the money aspect. I've tried not to dwell on that thus far, despite the turn of phrase I've used. But that is, at the end of the day, what is also happening. You are taking the people who have the least issue getting eyes on their product, even if it is, at the end of the day, the 14 product, and making it just that much simpler for them. Whereas you're making it exceedingly more difficult for people who are new content creators or just new streamers, new entertainers, to get any actual traction.
Okay, so this might be repeating something now. Sorry to interrupt, but let's spin this around a little. So we're not just critiquing. Let's also offer our own ideas, right? And also, I would like, because we've mentioned a lot of names on the list, let's also direct, attention to people who we'd like to see on the list. How about that too? So, how would you, if you were to run this community-based event, how would you do it? What different things would you do? And this might be repeating a lot of things Dollet had already said, though.
Yeah, it's literally what I've just said.
I mean, I'm going to say the same thing Dollet suggested.
Yeah, I just opened this up to anyone streaming in the 14 directory for a certain amount of time. That way people can't just hop on stream for an hour and vamoose. Like, make it a day, make it a certain amount of time. I don't know if that makes it difficult, time gating it. It might. But that's what I would do. Because I think the moment you have a list, it's problematic.
No, yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, obviously, if you had to put it, and I don't like having to put a limit, so I don't actually really feel comfortable with like choosing people to be on a list. I agree. I would have just made it. So there's two ways you could have actually done this that would have been viewed as a lot better. One, you just open it up to the entire directory, right? That way anybody streaming 14 would have a chance to like have people like come in and just be like throw gift subs or whatever, and so they can get their stuff. Like I've already stated that if they end up bringing like Sly and Bayaka into this or whatever, I'm immediately going to their streams and like I'm going to create multiple accounts to drop gifts, like 4 gift subs. That way I can collect codes and then do like a giveaway for the codes.
Sure.
But I'm like waiting for that point. Obviously, with my bank account looking at the way it is, gonna be like a little bit. But anyway, or they could have done it with Twitch drops, where after you've like watched a 14 streamer for a certain amount of time, you have a chance to get it. You have a chance to get the code dropped into your dropped into your inbox.
I have no idea how
they could have made it
so
come.
Fair enough. That seems like a pretty solid way of going about it.
Yeah. And I'm assuming the only reason why they didn't do it this way is because, they probably have like, obviously it's not costing Square any bit of money to do this.
Yeah, it's all old material.
They have, they're not running out of space to fucking give people fucking black chocobos. They could have easily thrown this on the fucking Mog Station and had people pay $20 instead of paying a streamer $20 to get a fat black chocobo. They could have just paid Square directly to get it. Because I don't even assume like I mean, obviously nobody knows the logistics of this, but so I mean, I don't even assume how is Square even getting any money out of this? Are they getting like a percentage of of like the sub revenue that happens between now and August 24th in the 14 directory,
If it's
or like in
collaboration.
these specific streamers.
If it's a collaboration, it's entirely possible that they do
Yeah,
profit
perhaps,
from
yeah.
this. But at the end of the day, this is a giant advertisement for the upcoming
Yes.
expansion.
Because this is now currently
That's
a
what
dry
this
period
is.
between, what previously had been done
Yes.
and the expansion.
Yeah.
There's bolster to keep people subbed, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think also I'd like to see stuff that's in game too, not to like. There is a unfortunate worry if you advertise people inside the game itself. There is a fear that they would be like acousted by trolls and stuff like that. But I would like to at least some way to direct people from the game as well, or perhaps. Is there something on the lodestone, not just this pile of links? I didn't really look.
No, it's just a pile of links
Okay.
on Lodestone.
Something better than that. That'd be great too.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh. But also, tricky. Yeah, I mean, you've already said what I wanted to say as well, so I don't want to repeat.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't feel comfortable with like pointing out like okay, so the immediate sus thing was Sly just not being on the list. There in no universe do you make a 14 Twitch collaboration and exclude Sly from the list. All right, if anything, he's as popular. Well, if anything, he's as important to put on the list as Happy is.
Sure.
If you put Happy on the list, you got to put Sly on the list.
I'm a little distant from the community now. I know that Xenos has stepped away from the game, but
Yeah.
what about Arthas and
Arthos was not on the list either, and a lot of people were assuming that they might have excluded people that had put up ACT parsers up on their stream before, or that played like DMCA-able music, and so like, maybe Square doesn't want to be like attached to like that, and in no way was either Arthos or Xenos going to be on that list
I would
anyway
say
because
as
they're too
well,
controversial.
Like, if you're gonna use Sly as an example, a good example, like he also does in-community stuff all the time. There's a lure lounge and stuff, right? He has parties in game constantly.
we should talk about what he's doing now.
Yeah,
because I was unaware. I've been trying to find
He's having
a way.
birthday party.
Well, I've been trying to find a way to get this in there and make it relevant. So I guess this is an easy way to do it.
Yes.
Sly has, at least this last weekend, I think, according to Twitter, had a little get together with like 3 different groups of people. You come and you represent a certain mech type. Again, I'm a bit removed from 14 at the moment.
Yeah.
But it seemed like he had his own personal Velvet Room event going. It's bizarre to me that having someone like that, stir people to action in the game. Wouldn't be a
Seriously,
good thing.
he doesn't just do content, like in-game like raids and stuff. He does like get-togethers and just hanging around and having fun.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I don't
He
know
does community
Sly.
content.
I don't know Sly for doing the game's content. I know that he does, and I've watched people rag on him mercilessly for it. But what I know Sly for is just having the chillest atmosphere, getting a house, doing the Velvet Room thing, putting on parties, putting on events, doing the podcasts, shelling for people to get together and do things.
Yeah.
It just strikes me like that's the kind of person to have on an event like this.
Yeah.
Again, we've gotten a bit away from the topic that I want to, but there are other groups that do this. As a matter of fact, Leek, you were attached to one for a short time, weren't you?
Oh yes, Realm Stage Reborn.
That's the one.
Yeah, they've moved away from that now to do other things, but yes, they were known for that. Like this is basically the bread and butter of like when patches and stuff are in a lull that you're waiting in between. This is an MMO. This is primarily a social thing, and when you're not doing the latest content, you are hanging around with your friends. Yeah. This is the first thing we think about when we think of community. So.
True facts.
Indeed.
I want to point out, Bayaka made a tweet the day it happened, I thought that was funny and 100% true. Imagine giving away a black chocobo and not having a single black person on the list.
I did see that. I saw it out of
I was
context,
like, oh.
granted, but I did see that.
Yeah.
Now that I know. Yeah.
Like how tone deaf can you be?
Yeah. I will say, like, because of this, there's been a lot of rallying together in a positive way.
Yeah.
Lots of people have been making their own lists of content creators and, you know, streamers of 14 that they want you to go to direct to. Now, I mentioned Ethernet as well, but there are like lots of people on Ethernet team themselves. Like, there's Arcane, there's Brian, you know, I'll link all these names as well. There's Princess Luno, Hello Mooney, that is my friend. Although she told me afterwards she doesn't stream 14 anymore. But there's GCar, D Nuglife, and Darian Hart. Right, I will have all these linked to, and these are just on. So most of these people are on the Ethernet team, same as quite a lot of people on the English list. And it's not like there's not like you can make an excuse of, oh, we just don't know who the other people are. Like, you know, they're out there. They're easy to find.
Yes,
Yep.
we forced them to come together and make lists, all according to plan.
Yeah. But yeah. So there's a like if you have been paying attention to this whole debacle, there's lots of people who have come together, have made lists and stuff. And that, at least, like, is pulling people together. But we shouldn't have to do this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Let's also remember the fact that these lists have had to come together in spite of the event, not because of it, not for the reason of the event, at least.
And it's not the first time this happened.
It's very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's the disheartening thing. It's not the first time. And
No, it's not.
This keeps happening. And not just in
Yeah.
14 as well. This is
No, of course.
Oh,
this is not
it's
just 14.
It feels like a Twitch problem, honestly, because it happens a lot with Twitch.
Well, that's going to be a bit of bias against the fact that like Twitch is just so big and there's always something happening on it. But yeah,
but even when they try to do inclusion or whatever,
they're so bad at it.
it also comes off as extremely tone deaf,
They're so bad at it.
and it's just like, how can you just not think?
I don't know. Man.
Anyway.
Not thinking's pretty easy.
Yeah, not thinking is actually pretty easy. Yeah. Well, there you go, Ramza. There's your long-winded answer to a question.
No, I mean, it's a very important thing to bring up, though, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because holy shit,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
talking about this behind the scenes as well.
Very.
Yes.
I will every day I will tweet how many days it's been since it started, and if there's no change to the list.
Is there no public statement or anything yet?
Nope. The only public statement that is even tangentially related to this was Twitch support tweeted that they were having problems with the whole getting codes out, or like they didn't even mention like the 14 collab, but they were just saying we have noticed a problem in like people getting inboxed stuff to them, and they're working on it or whatever. But that's literally that, and obviously it was about that because again, Happy was having 16,000 fucking subs dropped on him in that day. I can't imagine what happened to Zeppla and what happened to me and what happened to like anybody else that streamed. Actually, I can't like literally I can't imagine what happened to Zeppla, because Zeppla had a lot more viewers and she's been getting like extremely popular over the past like couple of weeks. So yeah, that's like literally the only statement that is even tangentially came out about it. Nothing about adding people to the list. Nothing about, oh, we are sorry that our attempt seemed very tone deaf. Nothing at all. So, Again, I will be tweeting every day. When I wake up today at around probably noon, and I see that there's no change made, I would say day 6 and still no change to the list. And if I get to August 24th, I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah. See, I want to see more than
Very
just
sad.
adding people to the list and not really mentioning anything else. I want an actual substantial effort to
Pretty
Well,
much.
same.
change this habit of, you know,
Yeah,
because otherwise it's just going to keep happening.
Same.
exactly.
Same, but the bare minimum is that they're going to add
But
some.
the
They're going
thing
to add
is,
people to the list.
You can't have them do the bare minimum because then that's all.
Well, that isn't even the bare minimum though, because it's after complaints. They should do this by themselves. That's the bare
Oh
minimum.
yeah, true. The bare minimum.
That
should
is
have
the
been,
bare minimum.
Yeah, the bare minimum should have been. Oh, the whole Twitch directory. There you go. That should have been the bare minimum. All right, because we're gonna get talking around in circles. Are you guys doing anything this week?
My classes wrap tomorrow and then begin on Monday, so I have no downtime. But I will be attempting to do intermission stuff.
Hey, that's a double entendre.
Hmm.
Because you have a brief intermission between your classes tomorrow and Monday,
Yeah.
and you're going to be doing
suppose I do.
intermission.
I did this to me. Yeah, that's my entire plan. I don't have time to do anything else, so I might as well run through this short DLC.
Yeah. I'm going to be in 14 and I'm going to attempt to be social because my brain's not working. But I will attempt to function. I actually miss going to a little lounge. It's really freaking fun. Like it's essentially like I think when Sly did it, he had the velvet room thing and everyone dressed in his specific blue color. And we were all just dancing on the dance floor. Took loads of photographs, I say, screenshots, right? And we had it's a Discord set up for a little lounge as well, and with like DJ music and stuff. And you can go into the Discord channel and listen to the music as you're prancing around this stage. And then they have like amazing choreographed dances, like with a team of people together. It's really freaking amazing. And that's not just the only thing you can find. Like 14 has a lot of things like this.
They have their own menus. You can order food.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
Or RP order food.
Yeah. That's another thing. Like their role-play community is also a big circle in 14 too. So there's like essentially, if your interests lie in certain areas, you can find it.
Absolutely.
That's what I really love about the game. And they've shot themselves in the foot. I keep preaching it. They shot themselves in the foot by ignoring that side, essentially. Like, but so that's essentially what I'm doing. I said essentially way too much.
Essentially.
In post. Replace essentially with something else.
Well, I can.
Do it in your very, very husky voice, though. Go like the ASMR.
Essentially.
Oh goodness.
I'm gonna do more Scarlet Nexus this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hopefully get my money back.
Here's to hoping.
Yeah. I get paid on Thursday, so that's gonna be okay. That's gonna be all right, I guess. Even though a good like almost half of it's gonna go to fucking overdraft fee.
Good luck with that. That was such a pain in the ass to deal with. I'm just glad you got a refund.
Extreme pain in the ass. Well, I mean, I have to like monitor my account to actually see the refund actually happen. Because if it doesn't happen within 3 to 5 business days, then I call up UPS and then I really yell at them because that lady told me that she's already put it in the process and everything. Like, I mean, she had my account info and everything. She was like, so whatever. Anyway, Scarlet Nexus. I'm gonna play more Scarlet Nexus. I will probably finish at least one relic this week.
Hey, very good.
I'm gonna watch our boy Evan play some Disgaea 6 because he's actually streaming right now. I'm gonna listen to more Trash Taste podcast, which is the cool anime podcast where 3 nerds just sit in a room and they just talk about anime.
I want to know your Duolingo adventures as well. You've been studying very hard. We can count Duolingo as a game, right? It's like a memory game to try flashcards and shit.
So the thing that they said, that the people in Trash Taste, they're talking about like don't use Duolingo because it's like going to try to teach you like kanji in like a weird way, all right? That like it's like not very good at teaching you, but I think they changed that between the time that they used Duolingo and now, because I don't think it's specifically trying to teach you kanji. I think it's just going through like it's just based katakana and hiragana. Not katakana. Yeah, katakana and hiragana. But I'll have to look. They in that specific episode, they linked a page where so the way they stated it was, yeah, it took us 2 hours to memorize all hiragana and katakana with this page because they used like a bunch of like symbol memorization. And I'm like, oh, okay, well if that works, I'll look at that. I haven't looked at it yet. Well, I will. But anyway, yeah, I'm attempting to learn a little bit of to get a basic understanding of Japanese at least.
Yeah, hiragana, katakana is good because it's easy enough to pick up.
Yeah. Well, Duolingo. So the thing with Duolingo is that it has and I'm gonna go on a weird side tangent here.
Well, all right.
Yeah. So they have like the list of like these like levels you can do in it. So like, you know, you start off hiragana 1, you do 5 levels of that, hiragana 2, hiragana 3, hiragana 4, greetings, katakana 1, intro, katakana 2, and then you go and then you're in a new subset of like, stuff or whatever. But you click on the button that looks like for hiragana. And it takes you to this like let's learn hiragana and katakana like page or whatever, and you just click learn the characters, and it will just go through like, you know, right now it's like select the correct letter, the correct character for ke, and I've memorized that pretty well. Now I can't like go off the top of my head and be like, all right, ke, and then immediately think of the symbol or whatever. If I look at the symbol, I can be like, okay, that's probably ke. I haven't gotten to practically actually like writing it or whatever. And then I know that there's an app. I know there's an app that like will teach you like the correct symbol, the correct like stroke order or whatever. And if you like do it incorrectly, it buzzes your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. But yeah, I'm that's way too long of a side tangent, and I'll be doing this for like years.
Here's to hoping that's the only way you're gonna retain it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Scarlet Nexus 14. Okay, so I don't know if I'll get through Scarlet Nexus this week. I'll finish Yuito's in the next like day or two, and then I'll have Kasane to do. But after I finish Scarlet Nexus, I am doing a Tales of Marathon where I am starting with Tales of Symphonia, which is my first time actually going through Tales of Symphonia. I have started up Tales of Symphonia multiple times and only have gotten to right outside of the city, because every time I do that, my brain immediately goes, oh, I need to beat 255 enemy battles on hard mode, so I can get this title that gives me like an extreme power boost. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm dropping the game to easy, and I'm just going through the story. I'm probably gonna kill Zelos.
Wow.
Because I know that, yeah. Only because I think Kratos is cool, and I know that he fucking betrays your ass. I pretty much know most of the story of Tales of Symphonia because I have 2 friends that played the shit out of that game.
And it's easily one of the most popular Tales games that they've made.
Yeah, but I haven't experienced the game myself. So after that, I'll be doing Zestiria, even though Zestiria is the worst fucking Tales game ever. And then Berseria. I have a donation goal on my Twitch that if I hit any like sort of like milestone on it, I don't have to hit the max. Well, I will add a game or so or 2 or whatever to it. those games either being Abyss or Grace's F. But yeah, that's my plan. But like I said, I won't get the Tales before the next podcast. So unless I extremely power through Scarlet Nexus one day.
No, take your time with it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I am. It's really fun. But yeah, that's what I'm doing this week.
Hey, very good.
All right, yeah, that's all we got this week. Go. I don't know. I don't know what people are going to be doing this week. What is this week? This week is going into the July, right?
Yes.
It is. Yep. Thursday is first.
It'll be July 4th before we have our next episode. So enjoy 4th of July,
you.
people.
Yeah, lots of barbecue.
If you're in California, do not shoot off fireworks because you're going to burn your fucking state down.
Seriously.
Oh God,
think
yeah,
about
no, be careful.
if nothing else, think about me. I would like to not be on fire again.
Also, I suppose check your neighbors too. Check your neighbors.
Absolutely.
Some might be veterans or have lots of pets and stuff. So be considerate.
But other than that, enjoy yourselves. Make sure you have a good time.
Yep.
Yeah, have fun.
It's the summer.
Eat a bunch of hot dogs
Yeah.
and hamburgers.
Eat bad food, eat good food, drink a lot of bad and good substances, and just overall enjoy yourselves. And
Yep.
we love your faces, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely true.